Hello world, my name is Tim Ruswick, and today I want to talk to you about the 1,000-hour indie game experiment. Now this is something I've been working on for months at this point, and I want to share with you kind of what the objective is, the data we're monitoring, and like what I'm trying to achieve, because I thought it'd be really interesting to do an experiment. Now, if you saw the revenue video that I released for Phylophobia, which I will link up here, I released my revenue over a 4-year project, and that was 4 years of development. It wasn't constant development. There were months and months and months of time where the game didn't get worked on, but that wasn't really cool data. It's like, okay, you made X amount of money, but 4 years, like that's, you know, that wasn't really helpful to anybody. So one of the things that I said in that video was that I wanted to try a 3-month game rather than a 4-year game, because it's like, hey, okay, if you can make 7 to 10 grand on a release on average, assuming, you know what you're doing halfway, you can maybe be profitable if you can reduce the amount of development time in your game, right? Like, I think Phylophobia wasn't, I considered it a success because my goal was to make 10K in the first year, which we pulled off. But if you look at the time spent, because I didn't track the actual hours spent, but I would assume that I probably didn't make much per hour if you actually would do the math. So the objective after that was to, okay, let me track all of my hours on a new project, and let me see if I can get the development time short enough to where a paycheck like that might actually be profitable, might actually be worth it, right? So the goal was a 3-month project. That didn't happen. I think I overscoped and I picked the wrong project for that. I still think a 3-month project is possible. I think Jonas Tyroller is a fantastic example of that. They made Islanders in a couple months, which congrats to them, dude. That game did fantastic. But I think what I wanted to do is I wanted to record more data. So we got more data. So I want to share my current project with you. I want to tell you like how we got to it. And then I want to share some actual details and some actual data on the time I've spent in it and the objectives and the goals. And I have graphs and charts and all the great nerdy number stuff that we're going to go through. But I want to show you this. So this game is called Cyberpunk. It's a working title. I'm pretty sure we're going to ship with it though. I like it. It's cool. And it is a hacking stealth roguelike. We have, when I say we, I mean Stream and I, old Stream and I, we have about 650 hours into it, and the goal is 1,000 hours or under. So the game is, you know, it's pretty close to where it's gonna ship at. We've got some more work to do on like usability stuff. Like obviously none of this stuff, you don't know what any of this stuff is. We need stuff to kind of share all that. We need tutorials, and we need a better map gen algorithm, which this is an older build. We have a better one running. But as you can see, it's a roguelike. So it starts out with a map of a server, and the objective is to get to the mainframe of this corporation. Now, again, with the usability stuff, it's not showing a corporate logo anyway, but there are multiple corporations in the game, and the objective is to take them down by getting to their mainframe because they're evil and big and bad. And there's different reasons to take each one down. But there are different nodes, and different nodes do different things. Like, for example, this is a zip file. So if I go to zip file, I get a choice between a power-up. This is a macro, this is a script, and this is a parser. And the cool thing that I like about the game is that it randomizes the effects. So there's costs and there's effects in the game, and they get randomized into these different types of data. So this one you can use as many times as you want, but it's kind of expensive to use. This one you can only use once, and this one, it runs automatically on startup, but it doesn't cost anything. So it could kind of be cool. Now, again, we've got work to do on like this stuff to make it understandable and readable and pretty, and it's not that pretty currently. But then the other node is a basic node, and this is the basic core of the game. It's a turn-based stealth roguelike. And like I said, like this is placeholder art and stuff like that, so we don't have everything in the game. But the objective of the game is kind of go around and find these little tiles that have data or energy on them, not get caught. Don't do what I just did because the bad guys don't like it. And then there are different objectives per server. So this one is to open ports. So I can, using my resources, I can open those ports. And like I said, this is kind of messy. This is just, I wouldn't even call this procedural. This is like put random shit everywhere map gen process. We've got a better one already in the newer build, which I'm really happy with. But the objective is to do whatever it says to do and then get in and get out and hack the mainframe. So I'm pretty happy with the way that this works and the way that this looks. So the turn-based aspect of it, and the as you can see, the little logo in the back, like this is Monarch. That's the company we are hacking currently, but these colors all change depending on the company and stuff like that, and there are different modifiers for each company, and you don't want to get seen because then you end up with some bad stuff that happens. Let's get out of there. Pretty happy with the game, really excited for it. I think I can do as well as Phasmophobia, if not better, but here's the cool thing. All the way through the development, I've kept track of the actual numbers every single day, as well as the specific thing that I worked on. Like in the beginning, I missed some boxes because I wasn't as dedicated to this, but I decided why not track everything. So we've got all the numbers and all the hours spent. As you can see, we spent a lot of time here looking for an idea. That's what I was doing because I didn't really have a next project. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I spent a lot of time prototyping, and I'll have individual videos on each one of these prototypes and how I built them and why they failed or whatever, post-mortem type of deal. But I spent some time prototyping, and then the Cyberpunk jam came along where I worked for 7 days and I built a basic prototype of this game, and I really, really liked it, so I decided to continue on, and then I went into full production. And as you can see, so first of all, most of the time is spent on programming because this is a procedural game. There's a lot of random elements. There's no content currently. All of it is procedural generated. I just build little pieces and then the game kind of puts them all together. I did spend a little bit of time on art, but the art is, the art is very simplistic, but I actually really like the art style. And it kind of goes along with like my whole deal. I use a lot of black, deep colors in my games. I don't know why, but I kind of like it a little bit. And if you're in a dark room, I apologize. We're going from a black screen to a bright white screen. But I'm pretty happy with the distribution. You can kind of see in the graph here the different phases and stuff. Marketing is there because I've spent some time working on trailers and stuff like that, and I categorize all that as marketing so far. This is one of the important graphs, I think. This is where you can clearly see, hey, this project is super exciting. Hell yeah, let's work on this. Okay, I'm kind of done with it. Okay, fuck this project. You can see the progression, the game dev progression of interest going on. But that's one of the reasons why I record the total hours. So 631.5 hours I have into this project so far. The goal is to get it under 1,000, which, if I do my math right, 1,000 hours divided by 40 is 25 weeks divided by 4 is 6.25 months. So a 1,000-hour project is going to give us a 6-month full-time game on average. And that's what I want to go for because I think that's doable. I'm a solo developer. I do all my art. I'm doing all my own sound probably. I do all my own programming and all that stuff. And 3 months is probably cutting it a little too close without, like, I could probably do a mobile game or something like that in 3 months, but to make an actual PC Steam release is going to take a little bit more time. But I'm excited for this. So I'm going to be sharing this all along the way. I have some videos in the works currently that are going to show you this process. We're actually going to back up in time because I want to show you some of these periods and how I built different stuff and how we got to where we're at. But I'm excited for it, and I want to share all the data along the way because I want to. One of the biggest complaints I got too, weirdly, on releasing the Phasmophobia video was that people were like, "Oh, well, you did it full time. I can't do it full." No. Maybe there was some big time I worked on Phasmophobia, sure, but like these past couple weeks, I've been averaging 10 hours a week on the game, right? You can see it. So if you can't do 10 hours a week, maybe change around your priorities a little bit, because I think everybody could squeeze 10 hours a week on their passion project, even if they work a ton. I think it's possible. Could be wrong, maybe. It happens quite often. But I think you could squeeze in some time, very minimum, some 6 hours this week, right? The point is to always move forward. And if you keep track of what you got, the great thing is when I share the revenue for this game, I can share the revenue per hour, which is important. And I'm keeping track of all the stuff that I'm doing on this game. I'm really excited for this. I think this could be really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to sharing this data with you. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff that comes up along the way. I'm going to be putting things in devlogs, but not traditional devlogs. I want to kind of share from a developer's perspective how it all works and the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm thinking about and all that stuff. So if you are on a game dev journey with me, or you're thinking about being on a game dev journey with me, we can kind of share our knowledge, and I can share the things that I'm learning as I'm trying to build commercial successful games, and hopefully do this full time one time, because I'm not there yet, obviously, and I would love to get there, and I would love to bring you along with me. So my name is Tim Ruswick, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, if you want more content like this, I highly recommend you check out the stuff on the rest of the channel. We have all kinds of stuff on game dev, motivation, self-improvement, all kinds of stuff. But if you make games or you want to make games, I highly recommend you join our Discord channel. We have game developers from all over the world, and you can, do your game dev a little less lonely, or you can learn some new skills and meet some new people. So I'll see you there.